Hey, welcome to another episode, Being Spiritual at RU with Father Scott. I'm Pastor Matt, and good to be back. It's been a few weeks, maybe a month since we've been on.
Yeah,
Busy time of year, holidays and
sure is.
sicknesses and all sorts of things.
Yeah,
Um, but we wanted to jump on and talk about Christmas.
yeah.
So,
Well, as you already said, it's an easy time of year to get just so busy and distracted. And I always talk about this, how, and we talked about this. I think we talked a bit about Advent, talking about the time of preparation for the birth of Jesus.
mm,
Meanwhile, sort of the secular world, everybody else is talking about this commercial world is preparing for, the big gift exchange on Christmas. When Christmas comes and is gone, it's over. They stop celebrating Jesus' birthday and anything the day on the 26th, which I said that Jesus is the only person in history they stop celebrating once he's born. It's like, okay, we're done.
yeah,
But meanwhile, and I always confess to students and others, I find myself in this sort of like midpoint or mid place between sort of the secular observance of Christmas, which is holly jolly festive now, and trying to maintain some Advent spirit. And I have an Advent wreath and all the Advent calendars and all that. But also, um, when I became older and became Episcopalian, like in end of college, young adulthood, I discovered, as much as an Anglophile as I was then, much more so, that I discovered the tradition of the 12 days of Christmas, which is not a countdown to Christmas. It's the time between Christmas and Epiphany, the
yeah,
12 days between the two. And it's an ancient practice. And that's when Christmas is really happening, is the 25th through the 6th of January. And a lot of people, Orthodox and others, celebrate on the 6th of January.
yeah,
So, but meanwhile, I always say this whenever I'm at a church, like the Sunday after Christmas, we're singing Christmas carols, and people say, Christmas is over. Why are you still doing that? And I just remind them, no, Christmas just started. So there's that sense. But I don't tell people who celebrate now, and obviously I've got a hat on. If you go to the living room here at the Canterbury House, there's a Christmas tree. We've got decorations up, because one of the reasons for that is students are gone. They aren't here for Christmas. So if
yeah.
we're going to celebrate Christmas, they don't come back till the end of January. So we would never be able to celebrate Christmas together. So we do bend the rules, if there is such a thing. But I think it's learning how to exist sort of in both worlds.
Yeah. I think
Exist
it's fair.
in a the Advent season of preparation, but not being a Scrooge bah humbug to everybody else around us who's putting up decorations, who's little
Yeah.
kids who are excited about Christmas, seeing Santa. I am not the type to be like condemning them or scorning them for that. So we can just have Advent and the 12 days of Christmas, a long celebration.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's what I tell our folks. Just why don't we just extend it? I mean, everybody already wants to celebrate Christmas forever,
right,
ahead of time. So why not just extend it like a week or so?
right,
Uh, and yeah, and I try to remind people too, like there is this sense of waiting. That's why in the church calendar they had Advent before Christmas, like this idea of waiting for Christ to spend time in your soul, anticipating Christ, looking to the ways of Christ. And you can still do that as you celebrate Christmas and do the Christmas stuff, before December 25th. And so I encourage people just to pause and to reflect on those themes of Advent of, the love, the joy, the peace, the hope, to
right,
look at those things and reflect on Christ. And those can be helpful because we all need hope, we all need joy, we all need peace, we all need love, and Christ came to give us that. So yeah, I think it's important in the midst of your, setting up your trees, baking cookies, planning parties, and all those things that you do take time to reflect in the midst of that celebration. And yeah, extend it. I mean,
mhm,
I don't get why not even in our culture because like that week, especially the week between Christmas and New Year's, is nobody does anything. Like,
right.
you might
And
as
there's
well.
actually people are depressed often.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "Oh, Christmas is over," and it's so frustrating. I mean, no, it's not.
Oh,
But
yeah.
we've just been so conditioned to think the 26th of December. Yeah, the next big thing is New Year's, and nobody or Valentine's Day. That's what the stores are doing. It's all
Yeah.
Valentine's Day stuff.
Yeah.
And so everybody's moving on. Meanwhile, I think I was one of those who just really was depressed and sort of sad the day after Christmas, saying, "Oh, it's over for another year." But it's not, and that's part of that, like you were saying, that cultivating a sense of joy and a sense
Mhm.
of hope. And yeah, it's difficult this time of year. And we were talking a little bit earlier about churches that do what's called a blue Christmas,
Oh, yeah.
or some
Longest
churches do it around the solstice, the longest
we're
night.
doing
Some
we're doing a longest night service on
Right,
the 21st.
which on the 21st is the solstice, and it is the longest evening of the year. Is Robert Frost called it the darkest night of the year,
Mm,
which I always love that
yeah.
imagery, because the darkness is at its longest. Then
Mhm.
it's the longest night, and things are turning around. Things are The
Yeah.
light is coming back,
Yeah.
and that's part of what we celebrate this time of year:
Mm.
the coming of the light, and but also the return of the light. It's
I
bringing
yeah, I saw a theory once on why the church chose December 25th as Christmas. And I like this theory the best because it kinda goes with that. Back, how many over hundreds of years when they were creating the church calendar and picking December 25th, they didn't have, like, what we have today with our apps, and we could see, like, when the sun rises and sets and all that.
right, right,
But the theory goes that after the solstice, the first day they could actually see days getting brighter on the horizon, like, with their eyes, was December 25th.
mm,
So they chose that as the light of the world had come, to pierce the
right,
darkness. I don't know if
right.
that's true, but I like that, idea
Yeah.
behind it.
Well, I think, yeah, it's regardless, it's that sense of,
Yeah,
this is the turning point and the light is returning
yeah.
now. And that's to be celebrated.
Mhm,
So we are, yeah, it's a time of year to say, yeah, things are really dark. But most major religions this time of year have something in the North, have something to do with candles or light.
mm,
You think
yeah,
about Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Diwali, a lot of, because it's such a dark time, we light candles. We put up lights on our houses, and we try to celebrate amidst the darkness. And yeah, that's what I think Blue Christmas and others try to do, is help people to acknowledge that this is a dark time of the year, and people are often depressed, whether they have seasonal affective disorder. Other people have been through a loss. Maybe they've lost a loved one or lost a job or something. They're just under stress. Some people just really don't like the busyness of Christmas, and they don't like the commercialization of Christmas, and they just don't find any joy in it. And I think churches, we're trying to say that is okay. We will walk with you through this time. And whether it's the Blue Christmas or the longest night, we say, let's offer that to God. Let's not deny or ignore the fact that we're feeling depressed. We're feeling, not very holly jolly.
yeah.
And yeah,
Well,
so
yeah, that is important. Mary, at least in my tradition growing up, often got ignored.
oh,
Um,
oh yeah.
other than she's just in the
We were
scene.
scared of Mary because
Yeah,
she's Catholic.
yeah. But her song, Mary's song, is all about that, how Christ came for the poor and the lowly.
Right?
And it's not just, like, monetarily poor, it's also poor of heart, poor in spirit,
Right.
like, feeling down, feeling like, we all, as humans, go through those seasons of life where
Right.
we are poor, and that's where God, I think, meets us the most, is in the midst of that, right? That
Right.
he is present in the darkness. I mean, that is kind of the theme of this season, that he's present in the darkness with the light to give us light
Right.
and hope.
And
Um,
the promise of,
yeah.
promise.
So I just wrote something about Mary on, my blog this morning, so she's fresh on my mind, but I think, not forgetting Mary, and her story,
Mhm.
in Luke chapter 1 is important, and meditating on that, maybe that's like a if you are going through a dark time, meditating on the story of Mary and her song, I think could be powerful for folks if you want something practical, or go to one of these services. They're
Mhm.
There's many. Where is yours is,
Ours is, it's a sort of a regional thing. It's gonna be in
yeah.
Spotswood.
Uh,
So it's at St. Peter's Episcopal Church in
yeah,
Spotswood on the night of the 21st, which is the
yeah,
solstice. It's that I think it's 7 p.m. that night, but you could Google them or just, find their church listing. It might even be on social media. But yeah, it's a regional. They do like luminaries, they light, the candles in the bags and all that stuff. So,
maybe I'll we're doing a similar service at 5, so,
oh,
um,
yeah, you might be ready. You
I'll
might be in time.
yeah, maybe
Drop
I'll
down to
swing
Spotswood.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually side note, but I went there a couple times. They have a midday Eucharist
Mhm.
service. Um, and one time it was just me and the priest. I forget his name.
Yeah.
I
Marshall Shelley.
I think so, yeah. It's
Yeah.
probably the same guy. Wasn't that long ago. But, anyhow, yeah, entering into that would be good. I think entering into anything, spiritual during this season because it's so easy just to go to your family, friend parties, work parties, get ready for the gift exchange and
Right.
watching the movies, baking cookies, which, like we said, is all fun and awesome. But to enter into some of these, moments to reflect on Christ and why he came and why he I mean, he just didn't come once, like, and he is continually entering into our world, like, through us, and so, it doesn't just stop on December 25th, like, Christ
Mhm.
is continually being birthed and born anew in
Absolutely.
the world, and so taking time to enter into that is important, for your soul, and it can help you, as you go into these family parties and functions, can be difficult and stressful. It can help you, be centered in those moments.
And we're expected to be happy. We're expected to be having a good time
Yeah.
from Thanksgiving all the way through. And, sometimes people just don't have that level of enthusiasm, excitement, and happiness. And you can't fake that. People fake it all the time, but I mean, you really know in your heart, it's like, I'm not enjoying this. This is
Mhm.
not. And again, bringing your entire self to God, that is part of it, to offer your depression and your struggles and saying, and if you need to reach out to someone, do, because as we said, it's a dark time of the year, and it's important that we acknowledge when we're not dealing well with it. So yeah, it's important to not let it just, you know, fester. But
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Um, yeah, you have any favorite, Christmas traditions?
yeah, I do love parties and having getting together with people. Um, and I especially love parties with sort of some of the seasonal games and things that you can do. They're not necessarily board games or card games, but sometimes they're just like um, fun games. As I said earlier, I think I'm such an Anglophile. I got into the habit of buying Christmas crackers. You know what those are? You tear them open, and it's got like a little prize and a hat. Obviously, I like hats, and it's just a fun way to sort of celebrate. And of course, a lot of Christmas movies, which I can watch over and over again. But yeah, there's a lot of traditions that they've changed over the years depending on who's been around. But I do love to just sort of revisit memories,
Mm,
and some years well, during COVID, I know it was kind of bleak. It was like we can't get together. It was kind of hard, but we were able to, at least remember the good times. And yeah, and learn to treasure family, because family's not always with you, and it's important to remember to make them, again, not to put pressure on yourself to have a good time, but to at least be present enough with them, that they can, express their love for you, and that you all can share in that moment of remembrance sometimes, or hope looking forward. So yeah, I think. How about you? Do you have family
yeah,
traditions you like?
similar. I mean, we always like to do a movie and, cookies and popcorn and stuff, when we decorate the house. So, early in the Christmas, month of December, we'll decorate and do all that, and then, yeah, on Christmas Day, yeah, similar, like, to be with family, play games, watch, a movie, just be with each other. If even if I can't be with family, making sure that we catch up with family, via
Right,
phone or FaceTime or whatever.
right, right.
Um, yeah, those are enjoyable. And eating the food and the meal, I enjoy the special meal.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, um,
It's the most wonderful time of the year, as they often
yeah,
say, and
yeah.
it's the best food.
Not
It's
the time
just
to go on a diet. Uh,
no. That's why that comes in January. So,
January 1st, yeah.
and well, I always tell them no, January 7th because I'm going
Well,
to be partying
yeah,
through the 6th.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Well,
give
my
us an extra
birthday,
week. Give us an extra week.
yeah.
I'll start on it the week after.
So
New Year's. Anyway.
my birthday is January 6th. So
Oh, that's right. I forgot that.
yeah, I
Yeah.
always, start my diet on the 7th because 'cause I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not dieting on the
Who
6th."
who are we kidding, right? So, yeah. No, that's yeah, and there's always leftovers, and it's always, you just
Yeah,
gotta, and as you kind of wind down, and I think it's important, just ease out of the season, not just cut it off, which is kind of how, like I said, suddenly I used to listen to those all Christmas radio stations that suddenly from
oh, yeah,
November, but January 26th, it's
yeah,
back to regular
yeah,
programming.
that's annoys me so much,
And
yeah.
I wanted to call in one time and say, "Can I have an Epiphany song? Can we do We Three Kings?" I mean, they're done. Christmas is done.
Yeah,
And I always say how frustrating it's just over and you don't I think we need to ease ourselves sort
yeah,
of out of the jolly into, because Lent will be here soon enough. So give us some, time to just sort of
yeah,
exist and be normal and out of party mode before Lent. January could be that way if we just but we have to be intentional
yeah, that's good.
about it.
I agree. Um, yeah, so, enjoy Christmas, Merry Christmas, students, we'll see you back in a month or so,
Just about.
and we'll,
Yeah,
hopefully,
be
if you're
safe.
around, hopefully see you at some of the services we're at, that'd be great,
Be
and,
safe traveling if you are traveling, and I would say enjoy the snow. We got a really nice snowfall, but it's gonna be like 55 tomorrow, I think, or Friday, so it's
yeah.
all gonna melt. But anyway, but it's fun to have a little snow for the season.
Yeah, it was nice, it was nice. Alright, take care.
All
Merry
right,
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.